We've got a lot of cool new knives on the table in front of me, including a good selection of fixed blades this week, as well as a multi-tool that lets you pick exactly the implements you want on it. Some new expansions in that series, now available right here. Let's check them out. Hey everyone, David C. Anderson coming at you from the Knife Center. I usually say that before the break, but I didn't today. So now that you know who I am, and you know that Thomas is behind the camera as usual. I'm still
not sure who you are.
You know, we're always all on a journey to find ourselves. So I know how I'm doing today, and that is tired. But anyway, let's check this out. So we've been talking about the Roxon Flex series of multi-tools for a while. This is the Flex Companion because they're frankly just the coolest thing in multi-tools, because you can have whatever implements you want on these and swap them out when you get tired of that or you want to change it to another implement. The Flex series, however, is not the first set of exchangeable blade or exchangeable implement tools that Roxon has made. That honor goes to the Phantom series, and they have just released the Flex Shears, which combines the ability to use some of the Flex tools as well as the large main Phantom set of interchangeable tool sets here on the front. And the best part, or the signature part at least, with the Flex Shears are indeed the massive shears right here. Really, really cool scissors. They work exceptionally well. I myself have an older version of this that doesn't have the Flex series stuff on it. It's not the highest end steel on the scissors themselves, but they are easily able to be disassembled and resharpened should you need to. So that's really cool. Massive set of spring-loaded shears, scissors, whatever you want to call it right there. Big deal. Combine that with, well, we'll do the Flex part first, since maybe more familiar with that. There is a 3-layer space here that accommodates the short tool set in the Flex lineup. So some tools are long tools, those won't fit in here. Some tools take up more than 1 layer. That's all available on the item pages, but you've got 3 layers to play with. It comes with the chisel and all, as well as the combination file, depth gauge, and pry bar screwdriver tip. It also comes with the combination can opener, bottle opener tool right here. Comes right in the package for 65 bucks, I should say. That is the price. It also comes with 2 primary interchangeable implements. An 8CR series drop point blade is the standard. It also comes with, and this is my older one, which is dirty, as you can see, a replaceable blade utility knife holder. Here's how the changeout goes on this tool. You got a liner lock for safety, which is quite nice. Simply pop those 2 levers. The front scale pops off. The blade itself pops out. Throw whatever other implement you would like in there. I find it easier to have it in the open position when I go to re-lock the front scale. And there you go. Super quick, super easy, and you've got that big main blade ability right there. There's a bunch of different blades you can choose from. Here's a bunch of ones that I bought back in the day. Let's see, we got a file, a saw, sheep's foot blades, many different blade shapes, all in these magnetic cases that stick together. What's that? Comb. Cool multi-implement thing right here. Pardon my clumsy shakiness right here. Here's the thing. I have way more of these blades than I wanted because at the time, there we go, these were only sold in packs of 3. So to get the ones I wanted, which were available in different 3-packs, I had to buy all of them. Not the case here at Knife Center. You can buy all of these individually. We told Roxon, hey, we don't want to sell them in 3-packs. We want to sell them individual. So you don't have to waste a lot of extra money getting blade shapes you don't necessarily want in order to get the ones you do. So that's pretty cool. Prices on those different implements, they started about $8, ranging up to about 12. So pretty narrow range, all of them pretty affordable. But instead of having to spend $30 to get one tool you want, you can spend $40 and get the exact 3 tools you want. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Maths.
Something like that. I think you know what I'm talking about. The other thing we just added their 9-piece micro bit expansion set. This comes with a series of micro bits, 4mm standard size, as well as this small adapter. And that actually works with one of the flex implements you can get, this small 2-layer short Phillips driver. This pops onto the end, and then any one of these whole bits, allegedly, slides into the end there. There's magnetic retention here. Doesn't hold super strong onto the screwdriver itself, but it works. And just to show you how quick it is here, to throw that onto the standard flex pattern, I'll take 2 of these implements out because 2 need to come out to make space. Pop the screwdriver in, and now you've got that, which is pretty cool. Even if you don't have this kind of flex system and don't intend to, the adapter here may not make as much of a difference then in that case, but still for about, what is it, $5? It's a nice handy way to carry some micro bits with you. Last but not least in the Flex series to talk about today, the mini pliers have finally been released. And that is, I have it loaded here onto this Flex companion that I have. Spring-loaded set of small pliers right here. This is a long 2-layer implement, so it won't fit, unfortunately, on the Flex Shears if you were thinking of doing that, but it will fit on the Flex Companion right here. That's actually the only thing it'll fit on because the Flex Companion Mini doesn't accept long tools, and the full-size, plier-size Flex Companion doesn't have any long capability, or 2-layer long capability, but why would you want mini pliers if you have the pliers, the full-size pliers anyway? Worth saying anyway, just in case. But anyway, mini pliers, $14.50 for that, if you're interested. Next up, from Rivery Manufacturing USA, we've got a bunch of new variants of their Zero retractable utility knife blade holder thingamabob deal. $70 for these. Aluminum, these are just 3. We've got a ton of brilliant colors in the standard, what is this, the original pattern right here. There's frag, there's this worn knurled pattern that I think is really cool. And the way these work, just set these down, is you manually extend the blade and then it's spring-loaded retraction. So when you're done, you simply pull back and it does that, and it is so cool. And it's not a switchblade or an automatic knife or anything like that because it's an entirely manual process to open the blade right there. Blade changes are just like that. There's a little process to it. You'll get used to it. Make sure you hold the caddy in because it is spring-loaded. There are springs under tension there, and then easy to put back. So cool. Comes with a lanyard attachment point there at the side. Take your pick. Tons of great colors. The quality is great. And again, it's just one of those very, very cool things. Next up, how about a sprint run Spyderco? The Balance sprint run is in stock. It's about $225. It is a 2-inch Spy 27 blade, which is Spyderco's proprietary formula that they've developed with Crucible, still being made now, which is quite fortunate. And the name Balance, I think, makes a lot of sense when you look at it in the closed position. Symmetrical, very, very cool. It is an Ed Schempp design, as you can see as well, and that makes a lot of sense. If you're familiar with his work, you can definitely see his inspiration with aggressive blade angles coming into play right here. In a way, I kind of view this as a permanent alternative to something like a disposable utility blade style of thing, like, for instance, that Rivery right there, especially with this aggressive angle. I've got pretty much a full 3-finger grip on this knife, despite the overall very small size. You've got that guarded finger choil to thank for that. But it lets you really aggressively put pressure down on this leaf-shaped blade right here, or drop point blade with a full flat grind. Nice and thin, but aggressive puncturing and slicing, especially on the pull cut capability right there, which is really cool. It can also be really precise. Thumb pinch the opening hole right there, and you can be really finely detailed in your cuts right there. Single position pocket clip, sorry, 2-position pocket clip. It is reversible. You have a frame lock, and there it is. The cobalt blue G10 handles is typical of their Spy 27 releases. Check it out. There it is. Next up, we have the return of the ClickShift pens from Tactile Turn. That is the mechanism right there. It's kind of in between a bolt action and a standard clicky top in terms of, I don't know mechanically if that's what's going on, but in terms of the feel and the action that seems to be happening, that's what you get. And we've got different sizes of the standard size body, long, medium, short, or whatever they call them. This is the short right here. We've also got the narrow bodied models as well. So given we've got the full range with that click shift right there, you basically, the way I would approach it is figure out what kind of refill you prefer, because each one of them is going to use a different refill, and then buy the pen that suits the refill that you're looking for. We got a titanium clip. We've got a tumbled titanium body with Tactile Turn's very, very fine milling going all the way around it. I like the kind of subtle tumbling that handle has, or that shaft has. It gives it a slightly different feel than the Tactile that I have that has the more of the standard grip, and that's just a very satisfying mechanism. Check out, make sure we get a close-up of that. It's just really nice. Check it out. 129 bucks for these, about in range with most of their other US-made pens. Next up, we've got the Reate collaborations with Vulpex knives here, or VK knives, are in stock. We've got the ANUB actually, the locking version, and the VK-TRON detent style slip joint version, so non-locking here. We'll start with the ANUB. The specs here, we've got an L-Max blade, length about 3 1/8 of an inch, or yeah, roughly 3 1/8 of an inch. Really cool modified Wharncliffe shape with a full flat grind. Crystallized titanium on this one. That's going to be the at the high end of the price tier in this range, which is 320 bucks. More standard titanium finishes are about 285. There's some dark matter fat carbon options also at 320. There's a handful, about 6 different options you can take a look at right now. You've got the frame lock there. Lockup is superb. And the action on the front flipper, oh no. Hey, I managed it today. It's nothing against front flippers in general. I just have never always had the most success with them, but this does work. It also works very easily with a standard thumb open, thanks to the long fuller with the signature brass inlay right there, or inlay might not be the right word. I think it's a single piece going through both sides. Whoop. Almost dropped it.
Almost had an Eric moment.
Oh, we're okay though. You can also reverse flick it. You have to be intentional when you do it, because it's not a huge or highly aggressive spot to get your index finger in, but it is doable, as you can see. Carries pretty nicely too, I'd say. It's not overly large when folded. It's just, a good format size overall. Interestingly, the non-locking version is a little bit larger. Hold them up here side by side. You can see what's going on there. This is the VK-TRON. They're coming in, well, this version at least is coming in about $295. Let me just check all of them. Yeah, $285 to $320 is the range. Actually, this one is at the $285 point. M390 steel, modified sheep's foot, we'll say this time, rather than Wharncliffe on the ANUB. Length is about 3 3/8, so a little bit longer as mentioned. We've got some copper accents amongst the titanium handle. Same milled pocket clip on each of these two knives, which is quite nice. You've got that detent style action. You've got a front flipper, and thankfully for me, a rear flipper there. All done in that very squared off end style, which is very clean and still easy to use. There is an extra switch right here that doesn't actually lock the blade closed or anything, but it makes the tension a little bit tighter. It basically adds a detent. I'm gonna oil this one. It's a little squeaky. Nothing wrong with it at all. It just needs a little drop right there. Yeah, let's see. I kind of like the action with the switch disengaged a little bit, but hey, that's the cool thing. You get to pick what works for you. Really nice, really high-end stuff. You know, if you're unfamiliar with Reate stuff, it is world-class. It's some of the best production folders you can get at any price, quite honestly. But given the prices, they're not astronomical, quite honestly. But Reate also makes a lot of knives for other companies as well, so you may have tried one of their knives without even realizing it. Very good stuff. Next up, slightly more affordable, we have the Lander 4 clip point from Knafs is in stock now. This is about $125. 2.6-inch blade with that clip point shape that they originally modified from the drop point versions of the folders, and now they've brought that look over to the fixed blade and carried over the same kind of color and material combinations too. We've got a brown paper micarta, brass colored accents right here. I'm not sure if they're actually brass or not. The screw hardware looks like it might be colored, that finished in that color, but the bead here at the back does look to be genuine brass. It's small and compact. You've got a 3 to 3.5 finger grip depending on your hand size, but you've got that nice lanyard fob there at the back for that 4th finger grip. Allows you to be very secure in holds like this because your back 2 fingers can grab that fob and you can point down and get interesting grips that are harder to do without that, this type of size handle with the fob combination, which is kind of a cool thing. Still nice and narrow. It's going to carry nice and flat, but you've got a full tang for strength, S35, of course, for a good, well-balanced performance on the more premium side of things. And the sheath is Kydex. It comes with a belt loop right here, but I'd say this is fairly pocket-sized. Even with the pancake-style sheath, it's not too wide that you couldn't pocket this thing. If you just throw an ulti-clip on there, you could do something like that, no problem. Very cool knife. And I think the price is actually pretty good, again, for what you're getting right here. But anyway, very cool little knife. With this type of styling, it could definitely work as a small hunting knife, but I think, everyday carry is where most folks are gonna use this type of design right here. I think it's gonna work pretty well for that. Speaking of classic clip point vibes, the newest silver bullet is here. Remington branded, of course. I don't have confirmation here in front of me because we never can see. Oh, I do have confirmation here in front of me. Never mind. Built by Great Eastern Cutlery, which is as good as it gets in terms of like classic and classically made slip joints, especially here in America. This is a very, very cool company building this knife. And I'm pleased that I was able to look at it and say, hey, that looks exactly like a Great Eastern Cutlery. I know things.
You could always say it.
I could always say it. The blade here is 3 3/8, 1095 carbon steel, full flat grind, really nice satin finish on it. As you can see, it is engraved on the back, 2026 silver bullet as well. Jigged bone handles, lock back, very cool. And of course the sterling silver bullet inlay or bullet shield in those handles right there. That is the, that's the reason they're called silver bullet series after all. Coming in just under $200. This is a good working size too. I mean, that is a full 4-finger grip for most folks. It's not a hand, filling grip necessarily, because this is a narrow pocket knife, of course, but it feels really, really good, quite honestly. I would have a lot of fun carving and whittling with this, even with the lack of extra thickness. Everything is sized and rounded over as such that it would still do a pretty good job. And it's locking too, unlike a classic slip joint and unlike most, or many at least, of the silver bullet series knives. So that is also very cool. I like it. There's something about the way Great Eastern Cutlery puts a knife together that I've always just loved so much. So it's cool to have it here for sure. Next up, fixed blades, the Viper Gianghi, Gung Ho, or whatever this is pronounced. Should I figure out what that means? Should I look up that word to see what it translates from?
You can always cut this out.
According to the AI overview, which that can always be whatever.
The one that told us to eat rocks.
Exactly, or put glue on your pizza. It's the ancient Persian word for hunter. Cool. I'm not gonna dig deeper than that. Because who has the time? We're rolling here. Film is expensive these days. That's not true either. But anyway, I could definitely see the reason for the name right here. The price on these for an Italian-made knife like this is actually pretty good, $143 and some change. You're not getting a super premium steel with that, of course, or even a particle metallurgy steel here. This is going to be N690, 4 5/8 of an inch on the blade length. But in typical Italian fashion, the fit and finish and the style is what you're paying for right here. I mean, this feels phenomenal and phenomenally well made. It's beautiful to behold in my mind too. Olive wood handles, micro milling there to give it some sheen and some grip. Other flavors of handle are available. It's a really nice feeling grip in the standard hold there. There's no like thumb scallops, but there is kind of a unique shape going on here right in front of the front bolt there that makes a really comfortable pinch point for doing cuts like this. It wouldn't be my favorite for drilling a hole thanks to the flare here at the back, but because they've knocked the corner off, it's not that bad. All right, this is so good. I got to think of like, what would I change if I were to change anything? Maybe the lanyard hole could be bigger. That's a pretty small lanyard hole. You're not going to get paracord through that. That's honestly the only thing I would change. This thing is gorgeous and feels great. Thickness looks to be about 3/16 of an inch, but they're building it in Italy, so they probably started with millimeters. 0.19 inches is what we have listed, so spot on there. Crown spine for comfort, both on the full tang section of the handle as well as the leading edge there. So forget about scraping a ferro rod with this, but you don't want to do that on such a beautiful knife anyway. You'd be marring it up if you did something like that. Cool outdoor fixed blade. Really cool sheath too, and again, equally impressive considering the price. Leather, you've got a retention strap right here. You've got the ability to carry it two ways, either up and down on your belt, or I suppose this technically allows side-to-side carry. Oh, that's screwed on. I wonder why they did that. I'm not sure. Let us know in the comments. Really solid feeling in any case. I won't spend any more time on it because we got more fixed blades to get through. Here you go. This Condor, the Firewater right here. 130, just under $132. So it's not a huge savings versus the Gianghi. And there, I will say there is a quality difference here. The Viper is significantly higher end feeling than the Condor, despite being close in price. The Condor makes up for that a little bit by giving you at least a fire steel to go with your knife, as you can see here in the bushcraft style leather sheath here. Very much mimicking the JRE Industries stuff, it must be said, but yeah, you get a fire steel with matching red micarta handle. But the design of the knife, spot on. Initially, I thought, hey, that looks like a Joe Flowers design, our good friend. It's actually a Paul Lackey design. Very interesting. The red micarta is cool. The contouring and shape of the handle works exceptionally well for my slightly larger than average hands. You've got the lanyard tubes there for lashing and attachment if you wish. Almost a 4.5 inch blade, straight clip point, 14C28N steel, which is nice and tough for a stainless. You've also got a crisp spine on there that you could use to throw sparks from the included ferro rod right there. Yeah, solid bushcraft knife here. The Scandi grind, of course, great carving wood, which is what a lot of bushcraft skills tasks tend to entail. No guard to get in the way of some of those more detailed carving grips. So it's less tactical, but again, hey, fit for purpose, I would say. Feels great in the hand, too. Next up from Condor, we have the Corvo, or Invictus Corvo, as it says on the website. A Walter Matthau design. Sorry, Walter A. Matthews. I just wanted to say that. $85 for this one. Carbon steel blade. I believe this is probably going to be their 1075. No, it's actually 1095, so a little bit more edge retention than the 1075. 7.5 inch hooked blade shape going on right here. Definitely a little bit more of an aggressive indigenous style blade right here. And they kind of lean into that styling with the hammered finish, or the faux hammered finish here on the sides as well. False edged swedge along the top, like you could easily put an edge on that if you wanted to, but the reverse edge is not sharpened currently. wood handles with some wire wrap and a full-length tang. It's actually hidden here on the front, but you can see it all the way through the back on the back side, so it's going to be a narrower tang, kind of similar to the way a lot of South American machetes are built, which makes sense because Mikasa, the parent company of Condor, makes a lot of machetes down there in El Salvador. Apart from the kind of fighty applications of a blade like this, it's based on a Chilean blade wielded during the War of the Pacific. I'm not sure when that was, actually. Not as up on my Chilean war history, sorry folks. But also, this could make a pretty decent, or fun at least, bush management tool. Because of that hook right there, you could kind of slash through stuff in your backyard, that sort of thing, and it would kind of be gathered in and wouldn't slip out of the cut as easily thanks to this downward poke right here. Yes, I did say downward poke. I don't know why, but that is what I said. The sheath on it, highly detailed. 2 retention straps here at the back, space at the spine left open to make it easy to get in and out when you need it, but really, really nicely made. Also, from Condor, this is the Gaucho blade, not technically, or not just a kitchen knife anyway. This is based on the Gaucho blades from Argentina. This is on the larger side. It could certainly do duty as a camp chef knife, but it's also the type of knife that the Gauchos would use for everything. Butchering, skinning, field work, anything that they're gonna need at camp. 440C blade, 8.3 inches long, $106 and some change is the price. You've got the wood handle with the ferrule here at the front. Guarded back end right here. So as you sharpen this, you might introduce a little bit of a gap here, which would make it harder for contact to be made on the cutting board, but if you just grind it down a little bit as you go, not gonna be too much of a problem there. Feels pretty cool. Does come with a sheath. And as my good friend Ethan Becker said to me once, the only real difference between a kitchen knife and an outdoors knife is one of them comes with a sheath. So there you go. This one comes with a sheath. 2 ways to carry it. You've got a swiveling belt loop here at the back. You've also got the leather flap here at the front. So rather than actually putting it on your belt, you can just slip it into your belt and it'll kind of sit naturally upon it. There you go. I just discovered something. There's a little piece of Kydex there giving you a little bit of retention.
More unfamiliar Kydex.
More unfamiliar Kydex, the bane of our existence. How about a US-made fixed blade now? Defiant 7 is the brand. Les George is the designer. This is the M320G, a nearly 7-inch 3V dagger-ish style blade, coming in $365. You're getting 3V on that blade steel, which is very cool. Gonna be very tough and very high performing on its edge as well. Stone-washed finish to kind of help it a little bit from 2 perspectives. One, 3V is not a stainless steel, and the stone washing here kind of polishes the surface of the blade steel, which can help a little bit with corrosion resistance. Also, scratches are going to blend in as you use it, which is always a nice thing. So the blade looks looks nicer longer. We've got a injection molded polymer handle, full length tang, plate here at the back with a little bit of texturing. It's kind of a meat tenderizer texture, quite honestly, but you could use that for bashing. Normally, I like let me back up. I like the idea and the design of this knife is kind of a catch-all, every style type of thing. Obviously, it's very combat-oriented, combat designed, but this could be a really good any other situation type of fixed blade knife. The only thing where it might fall down for things I would use this size of knife for would be batoning in like a survival scenario, splitting wood, because of this long swedge right here, which again, false edge basically. You could throw an edge on that real quickly without having to grind anything else down. That would tear up your baton after a little bit. But the reason I like it generally for those almost that type of scenario is the guard here is very minimal. There's not a lot in front. There's enough to keep you from sliding forward, which is nice. The guard at the back is minimal and angled up, so you could easily thumb palm it or thumb pad it right there. And if you were trying to get up around it for finer cuts like that, more detailed stuff, it's not getting in the way too much. I really, really dig it overall. Sheath is Kydex. Here it is. Comes with this attachment backer here that comes with 2 MOLLE compatible straps here with pull the dot snaps, so they only come off in one direction. They're not gonna accidentally be pulled if going that way. Tons of holes on the blade or on the sheath itself. Let's check out compatibility with aftermarket stuff. Large tech lock will work no problem if you'd like to attach that way. Eventually I'm going to stop testing small tech locks since they've been discontinued, but a small tech lock here will also work if you happen to have one lying around or find one. There you go. Unfamiliar Kydex, man. It is a scary thing sometimes, but it's a very cool knife, even if it is a little scary too. Tactical fixed blade. How about a couple tactical folders? K-Bar's latest. We've got the Warthog and the Mark 25 flipper. Taiwan made 3 3/4 inch blades, D2 steel, and the price on these is going to be about $80. Which one do I like more? I'd say the Warthog is probably more distinctive. I like the Mark 25 a little bit better. I wouldn't be mad with either of them, quite honestly. But just because I'm more of a drop point guy in general, the Mark has a little bit of a drop. I'm going to show this one primarily. GFN handles, nice and lightweight, but very balanced overall, as you can see. Sits right at the index finger spot right there, so that is a really nice bit of design. Wire deep carry pocket clip, very deep carry as you can see, and it is reversible. Inset liner locks, and let's check out the action. Pretty good. Feels like washers as opposed to ball bearings, and that does indeed look to be the case. Oh, very smooth, like that oily smooth type of action. The advantage of that GFN, getting back to the handle there for a minute, one is weight, but also the shape is pretty nicely done. I don't like kind of squeezing up into this area with my pinky, but it works really, really nicely right here, and it's a pretty complex shape overall, which feels pretty good. Crown spine on both of these knives, which is a nice detail, again, for both comfort and aesthetics. You've got the small fuller on this one as well, which lets you get the K-Bar logo in there, which is also pretty cool. Action's quite nice, man. Let me check out the action on the Warthog real quick. The Warthog is a non-flipper. You have these thumb steps, we'll say right here. That works pretty good too. Check them out, man. One more tactical fixed blade. We have got the Skallywag limited edition Tanto Lite Pro. There is a black and a FDE version of this with KG gun coat, a very tough finish. And these are coming in about $95. As you can see, we've got a Tanto blade. It's about 4 inches, lots of skeletonization, keeping the weight down overall. About 3 ounces for this size blade. I wouldn't feel like super comfortable recommending this for like true tactical use because there's not a lot of finger guard protection right here and not a lot of girth on the handle to kind of make up for that either. So your mileage may vary. It might be a better kind of utility option for you, you know, depending on which color you like, of course. Steel is 8CR, so it's not super high performance. It is going to be easy to maintain. That's, of course, the opposite side of the equation right there. The sheath itself is inner padded Kydex, so it solves the, I'll show you what's wrong, quote unquote, with Kydex, with the Defiant 7 right here. Makes a lot of noise, right? That's not always what you want, however. The padding both makes it easier or quieter when it's going in and out of the sheath, as you can see right here. It also rattles less when you're moving around too. And it's a simple sleeve. You don't actually have positive retention here. This is designed more for low profile inside of, you know, inside of clothing carry or maybe pocket carry. I don't know, it's pretty large for something like that. Forget I even said it. 2 more things real quick. We're running out of time here. We've got the Hogue Mysto. A few versions of this have come in since we showed the first Water Series version. Basically, they've taken the Mysto, brought it down to a new lower price point by giving them rich light handles and a Magna Cut blade here. They're sitting around the $162 mark. You've got the blue rich light with stonewash blade. You've got a red rich light with a black stonewash blade. You've got a natural or maple paper rich light with a black stonewash blade. And now the quote-unquote basic version, black Richlite with a stone-washed blade right here. Richlite is cool stuff. It's essentially made with recycled paper fiber, making a material very similar to paper micarta. It's got a really nice matte texture, which you've got a matte finish on here, really brings out that nice quality. It also does kind of what micarta does in that when it gets wet, it feels a little bit tackier. Cool milled pattern on this black handle as well. So even though it's black, it does have a little bit of spice. And it's a Hogue, so the quality is super good, US made. The action, the smoothness of their crossbar lock is still like gives me great satisfaction, even all this time later. Washers in the pivot as well, so stands up to dirt and grit a little bit better than your bearings will. Deep carry, reversible pocket clip, a fully ambidextrous knife here thanks to the crossbar lock with its finger safe closing action. Awesome EDC, good price too, man, for a US made knife of this caliber with these materials. You can quote me on that. Also Hogue's edges are like the best in the business too. They're phenomenal. Factory edges are great. Last but not least, a true kitchen knife, unlike the Gaucho. This is the Master Prep knife from Shun with their VG Max Core Damascus blade. A 9-inch blade, Kuritsuke style hand or blade shape, I would say. A little bit of curvature to the blade itself. $220 here with the ebony packawood handle, right hand biased handle, of course, because these are not perfectly symmetrical handles here. And the new VG, or newer at least, VG Max blade steel, which that VG Max is the core of the Damascus cladding on the outside. Similar to VG10, but it's designed to kind of improve that a little bit, give it a little bit step up in edge retention. Toughness might be a little bit less than VG10, but it's supposed to have been able to maintain roughly similar levels of toughness, I believe, with a little bit of bump up in your edge retention. So it's not like a super premium version of VG10, but it's a slightly improved version, like S45 VN versus S35 VN, that sort of thing. At least that's what we're going to go with.
Should we call it VG More?
VG More. And then they'd leave room for VG Most. The one with the steel with the most VGs.
All the VGs.
Fairly straight with, like I said, a little bit of belly, but fairly straight profile. This is going to be a great push cutter as well as giving you a fairly decent rock. It's not too clunky coming down on the cutting board surface right there. So that's going to be comfortable for longer periods. I don't know, it's a good hybrid thing. It's almost narrow enough to feel like a sushi knife, almost. This could be a good centerpiece to your kitchen collection, quite honestly. There's some other VG Max Shuns on the site that are new right now as well. Check them out. That's all we got for right now. Let me know what you thought of the knives down in the comments, and let me know what you want to pick up. And if you do want to pick any of these things up, check out the links in the description. Or if you've been watching on TV, we started including some QR codes for our TV viewers. Make it easier for a few folks who are on your sofas to, or wherever you are watching your television, I guess. Could be anywhere. Check them out. While you're over at the website, don't forget about our long-running Knife Rewards program or our Sezzle payment options to break up your payments on some of these more higher-priced knives, if that'll make it easier for you. I'm David C. Anderson from the Knife Center. That's Thomas behind the camera, and we're signing off. See you next time.